Welcome back to my channel. Hey, this week is Conspiracy Theorist Week, and we gonna bring up some of the legendary ones, man. Cause hey, this is the first time on the channel. You know what time it is, so I'm finna go ahead and get right into it. This is Bohemian Grove. That's what they talking about, man. Come on, man. This ain't even got nothing to do with this, but you know what I'm saying. A side note, I remember coming up in the school. The Illuminati was a big thing, and then side note, I ended up finding out the Illuminati was a big thing basically when everybody was in school, every generation. But anyway, it's a big topic. What I mean. But anyway, I remember telling myself, I was like, bro, if anybody ever tell me that I'm in Illuminati, that shit is 100% fake.
Hey, that's wrong. There's a place tucked away that's rumored to host child sacrifice, ritual orgies, and occult ceremonies under the cover of secrecy. A place where the world's elite shed their public personas, dress in robes, and gather around a 40-foot stone owl for a torchlit spectacle that feels more ancient than political. And whatever happens inside isn't meant for you to see. Every July, deep in the redwood forests of Northern California, a hidden gathering takes place. Behind locked gates and armed guards, the world's most powerful men vanish from the public eye. Presidents, corporate tycoons,
Fraternities, man. And it don't seem like that hard. You gotta put it to yourself the simplest way. Like, it's just so hard for a group of people to get together and have a meeting, no matter what they talking about, what the bam, this or that, or what type of industries they in. Certain, like, someone usually this happens. Certain people be like in the same industry. Maybe they like all you know what I'm saying? Cause shit, everybody who had a job before or you keep on working, you will also go to they tell you go to certain meetings and you gotta do this and do that. You know what I'm saying? But all y'all usually working within the same company. Now this is just on a different level. It's on a higher level, and it's supposed to be with people that's are more financially secure for sure, but also I guess people with higher status in the world too, as far as like the occupations and stuff that they hold. So when it comes to stuff like this, it was never like, yo, none of this shit was like what the bam. It just was like I can see how stuff like this can happen type stuff. You feel me? So yeah.
come to negotiate, legislate, or campaign. They come to perform. They call it a harmless tradition, a retreat, a place to let go of care. But what really happens inside the Bohemian Grove? If it's just a harmless retreat, why are the most powerful men in the world gathering in secret to burn effigies under a stone owl? And what decisions, if any, have been made in the shadows of those redwoods that shape the course of world events? And why has no mainstream media outlet ever been allowed inside? Let's try and find out.
Hello, I'm Mike Joberg, Marine Corps veteran and filmmaker, and we will try to answer these questions on today's episode of Forgotten History.
The Bohemian Grove didn't start as a global power summit. It began in 1872 when a group of journalists, artists, and performers in San Francisco decided they needed a break from the city and the public. They called themselves the Bohemian Club. Leading the charge was Harry Edwards, a British-born entomologist and Shakespearean actor. He believed men of talent needed a place to escape the grind of city life and reconnect with nature. He was joined by Daniel O'Connell, a poet and journalist, and Ambrose Bierce, a sharp-tongued writer best known for the Devil's Dictionary. Ironically, Bierce would later mock the club for trading artistic spirit for social climbing, calling it a sanctuary for rich clowns. Because their motto was, "We shall be as free as birds," they were supposed to be free, untethered, drifting where the wind takes them. But by the late 1800s, it wasn't just writers and painters who wanted in. Bankers, businessmen, and politicians started joining at the club. Art gave way to influence. Nature gave way to networking. Eventually, the group bought 2,700 acres of remote redwood forest in Monte Rio, California. That land would become the Grove. From the outside, it looked like summer camp for old men. Outdoor plays, drinking songs, and costume parties. But behind the trees, something else was happening. A new motto emerged: weaving spiders, come not here. A poetic way of saying, leave your business at the gate. Except, nobody ever really did. By the 20th century, the Bohemian Club had become something far bigger than a gathering of eccentric poets. Its list now read like the front page of the Wall Street Journal. Presidents, cabinet officials, CEOs, generals. If you held real power in America, odds are you were either a member or invited. Among the most well-known Republican attendees were Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan, and George H.W. Bush. On the Democrat side, figures like Bill Clinton, Jimmy Carter, and CIA Director James Woolsey. In fact, Nixon and Reagan reportedly met at the Grove in 1967 to discuss which of them would run for president, years before either won the White House. Nixon would later comment, "The Bohemian Grove. I attended from time to time. It's the most goddamn thing you could ever imagine. Crude, but revealing. Even he knew something was off about it. These weren't casual cookouts. They were unofficial summits where the press wasn't allowed, minutes weren't taken, and the deals were brokered under the trees." In more recent years, tech moguls and media executives have also made their way into the Grove. Though modern guest lists still remain tightly guarded, tech moguls Jeff Bezos, Eric Schmidt, and Elon Musk have all been speculated to attend gatherings at the Grove. So exactly what did they do there? Well, every summer, a 2-week retreat begins with a bizarre ritual called the cremation.
Now, it was a clip going on a while ago, man, and you can barely see it because it's blurry. But this is outside in front of us. I believe the owl statue is like right over here. I believe so. But then these people right here, and they having their ceremony, and I want to say, I don't know if it's people that's watching them or not, man. I can't remember, but I think somebody tried to use this footage like a long time ago. It's like, finally some Bohemian Grove footage leaked. It leaked. And let's see what they doing back there. They back there conjuring spirits, doing satanic, what this and that. It's like, come on, man. Yeah, so I remember seeing this when I was younger, man. I don't remember what age, but I remember seeing it. But the video was like way clearer than what it is right on here, though. I don't know what's going on. And you can see like the whole thing, so let's get right back into it.
Men in robes marched through the forest holding torches. They gathered before a 40-foot stone owl, perched above a lake as a mock human effigy, representing the burden of conscience, which is set ablaze. They call it symbolic, a way to let go of worldly concerns. But for decades, the secrecy has fueled speculation for something far darker than symbolic pageantry. Whistleblowers, former staff, and conspiracy researchers have alleged everything from drunken orgies to cross-dressing plays to occult ceremonies, child abuse, and even human sacrifice. Some believe the Grove serves as a psychological pressure valve for elites. Others claim it's a breeding ground for blackmail and manipulation. Still others go further, linking it to the so-called New World Order, arguing globalist agendas, economic resets, and covert political deals are quietly seated in the shadows of those redwoods. None of this has ever been conclusively proven, but when the rituals look like ancient pagan rites and the guest list reads like the table of contents in a national security briefing, people start to wonder. Powerful men chanting in robes, torch-lit processions, mock sacrifices, all under the gaze of a massive owl. Some claim the owl represents Moloch, the ancient god condemned in the Bible for demanding child sacrifice. Now, to be clear, Moloch in scripture is usually described with a bull's head, not an owl's, but the name stuck, especially after researchers began drawing parallels between the Grove's rituals and the darker elements of ancient worship. The Bohemian Club claims the owl represents wisdom and that the ceremony is pure theater. However, in the year 2000, Alex Jones infiltrated the Grove and captured footage of the ceremony. The video was grainy and surreal, but confirmed what skeptics had long suspected. This wasn't just cigars and campfires. There were indeed robes, chants, and a burning effigy. Even Jones's fiercest critics couldn't deny what was on the tape. But the club still insisted it was just theater, but many saw something older, something darker. Because if this is what they're willing to show each other, what don't they show us? Insiders describe the Grove as a place where trust is built, so that when real deals come later, the groundwork is already done. That's what makes it so powerful. Not the trees, not the robes, but the access. And while members are sworn to secrecy, leaks over the years suggest the lines between play and policy are a lot blurrier than the club admits. One of the Grove's most closely guarded traditions is the Lakeside Talk, a series of private, off-the-record speeches delivered by the powerful to the even more powerful. It was here in 1942 that a small group of scientists, military officials, and government insiders first discussed what would become the Manhattan Project, the top secret program to develop the atomic bomb. Not in a war room, not in Washington, but beneath the redwoods, besides a tranquil lake. Decades later, Helmut Schmidt, the then Chancellor of West Germany, delivered a talk on the emerging European Union and post-Cold War geopolitics. In the 1990s, Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan warned of a global economic instability shortly before U.S. monetary policies shifted. And Dick Cheney, before ascending to the vice presidency, is also reported to have given private defense briefings. These aren't casual summer camp presentations. They're policy-shaping previews. Information most of us would never hear, shared quietly with men who already pull the levers of global power. So ask yourself, if it's just a social club, why all the security? Why the secrecy? And why, year after year, does the same circle of decision makers keep showing up? For 50 weeks out of the year, Bohemian Grove is quiet. No tourists, no press, no real activity. Just towering redwoods, motion detectors, and armed patrols guarding a private sanctuary that's off limit to the rest of the world. But for 2 weeks, every summer, the gates open and the most powerful men on earth disappear into the woods. And whatever happens inside, you'll never hear about it on the evening news. But maybe it's really just a club, or maybe it's something worse, because history has shown us that when power hides in plain sight, it rarely stays harmless for long. Let us know your thoughts on the Bohemian Grove in the comments below.
That's Bohemian Grove. I don't think I got any thoughts on this, man. I think I just said everything out that I wanted to say during the video. That was an interesting, interesting info about the Bohemian Grove. If you didn't know what it was and stuff like that. Yeah, man. Let me see. I don't think I got anything else to say. So with that being said, I'm out. Peace.